Hello and welcome to a new episode of El Agrónomo podcast. This is another episode in English, my number two, and I had such a blast with my guest. His name is Trevor Williams. He's the host of the podcast Farm Travelers. You can go outside there and find it very interesting. And we had really good conversation. I had a blast. I really enjoyed talking to him, picking his brain. We talk about his experience teaching agriculture. He also told me about his job and what he doing he day to day. We also talk about video games. That was very interesting to learn about this video game called Farm Simulator and how much you can learn about an actual farm in that game. So that was very interesting. I know I said it were interesting 3 times so far. And we talk about obviously about the podcast and how he ran it, how he managed, how he got to the point to have already 250 episodes. I really enjoy editing this episode, and I was listening and I was laughing about our conversation. So I hope you really enjoy it too. And welcome, Trevor, to the show. Okay, and now we're live. Trevor, welcome.
Hey, Felix, thanks for having me, man. Excited to chat with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of questions, like I said, because it's very weird in the sense that you have a lot of experience, and I want to learn from you. And also, I jump into this project and not knowing a lot. So, like, I don't know if you hear that the first 4 episodes. Actually, I recorded them back in 2021.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and I've been a procrastinator for 4 years, and and then I said, okay, come on, because I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm in California right now, and I'm not working in agriculture. I'm trying to do a project related, but I'm far from any farm or any agriculture situation. So in my mind, I said, okay, how I go back into talk to people and know what's going on, and then I said, okay, so you have this podcast, bring it back. Interview people, ask questions, and you will know more.
Yeah, there you go. It's kind of like a good way to keep your pulse on agriculture. That's kind of what I did when I started. I started the Farm Traveler blog in 2018, I think. And so I taught agriculture for a couple of years at high school, and then I career changed, and I was like, I kind of miss being a part in agriculture. So I started the blog, and that kind of naturally carried over to the podcast. And it's awesome how much you can learn when you're like interviewing other people and other experts in the field, literally.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like this, because people have different way to learn. And I think for me, one of a good way to learn is like this, like talking and hearing what you have to say and bringing me to those places and kind of like picturing that stuck with me. If I sit down and read a book, obviously I learn a little bit, but this more dynamic way, I feel like it's much better.
Oh yeah, no, totally. It's cool because I went to school for education, so we really learned a lot about like how many people learn differently, whether that's like through auditory, through kinesthetic, through like just thinking about it. So yeah, podcasts I feel like are for kind of everybody, especially those like auditory learners.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, going to the question, you mentioned that you were a high school teacher. So first, because another main thing for this show is like you see all these influencers and people online sharing day-to-day activities. But in my mind always is like, yeah, but I want to know their story, like how they got into this, what's their background, how they got interested in agriculture. So walk me a little bit about your story. Let's go, since I don't know, whenever you want to go back to your story. So later when somebody want to like the same, this is how I see it, like somebody's going to run to your page and say, okay, the same question. Who is this guy? Where is he coming from? Maybe they can go into an episode like this and find out all the things they need to know to like catch up with the things you're sharing right now,
Yeah, no, totally. We'll go all the way back to when I was born. I'm just kidding. I won't go that far back. But I didn't grow up on a farm. The closest thing to agriculture I grew up on was my grandpa. He lived right behind my house growing up, and he had a hybrid bass farm. And so I was kind of like familiar with aquaculture a little bit, but I didn't really start to like agriculture until I was in high school and I took an agri-science class, and I loved it. I was super active in FFA, and then I was lucky enough to be a state officer here in Florida. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to be an ag teacher. So I did the whole ag teacher route, did that for 2 years. but I got burnt out really quickly. And so I was
Really?
like, you know what? I was like, let me just take a little break, because I went to a school that was kind of like trying to revamp their ag program. And as a first and second year teacher, it was a lot of work and I was burnt out. I was in a new city and all that stuff. So I was like, you know what? I love ag, but I'm going to take a break from being a teacher for a while. And so I went the computer science route. But then I
Okay.
missed like kind of keeping a track on agriculture. So I started the blog, started the podcast. I think I started the podcast in 2019. And that was kind of when podcasts were booming, like getting really, really popular. And then they
Yeah.
really exploded in 2020, like during the pandemic. So,
Yeah.
and then now we just released episode 244 today, actually. So, been doing it for, gosh, like 7 years at this point, and it's been a good time. I've interviewed people all over the country, a lot of farmers around the world, Australia, Saudi Arabia, Canada, Mexico. It's been great
Yeah,
to
I
kind of
heard a
learn
couple
about.
episodes with people not from the US the other day, and right now I'm actually listening to the one with Emma.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to know her story too, because Emma is another girl I've been following for a long time, and her story is pretty good too.
Yeah, Emma from
So
Double E Ranch.
no, sorry, the other Emma, Ag with Emma.
Ag with Emma. Yeah. I've had on multiple. It gets confusing because you know your
There's too
guests
many
by.
Emmas.
I know there's too many Emmas. You know them by their names and then by their handles on Instagram and Facebook. But yeah,
Yeah,
Emma was cool. I've wanted to have her on for a while, and she's just such a really big proponent of agriculture. And she goes around. I told her in the episode, I was like, Emma, you're the actual like real farm traveler. She's worked in Australia at some farms. She's worked all around the country, and so she's a wealth of knowledge. And she's so
yeah,
young, but she's so experienced. So it was really cool to chat with her for a while.
yeah. I think I've been following her for like this probably the same time I've been following you and some other guys when I started all these in social media, like probably 4 years ago or something like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, it's been a long time.
Nice. Yeah, that's you. So you were an agronomist, right?
Yeah, exactly. Down in Chile, we got a specialty. So you do 4 years of general knowledge, and the last year you pick a kind of like a subject. And my specialty
Hmm.
is fruit trees.
Oh,
And
cool.
then from fruit trees, I work in avocados and citrus for a couple years. So that's
Nice.
kind of like
Okay.
the things I know. But that's exactly the same thing. It's like I don't want to be by the avocado guy, because it's so much to learn, so much to know. So this is the back to the reason I'm doing this. All right. So my question is, when you say you're a high school ag teacher, is a specific subject, because that's come in my mind. What you were teaching these kids?
So ag programs in the States are really cool because so it's available in middle school and high school. And when you go through the education program, I went to the University of Florida. And so my degree was just in agricultural education and communication, but I got a minor in environmental horticulture. So I was more of we like to say like you're either a plant person or an animal person. So I was more so of the plant person. And then the high school I went to, they were horticulture based and also aquaculture. So that was kind of what we were going at. When I was teaching agri-science foundations, which is just for like freshmen and 10th graders, and then intro to horticulture, horticulture 3, and then aquaculture. So those were our specialties. Like we had a little land lab area where we had a greenhouse with a little hydroponic system in it, and then we had a bunch of raised garden beds. And so
Oh, awesome.
we one year we grew salsa gardens. So we grew like tomatoes, peppers, I think some lettuce also. And so we just like grew it. And unfortunately, everything didn't get ready before the summer. And so we didn't get to eat our salsa, unfortunately, but it was really close. We almost made
Yeah,
it.
that's how it is, because everybody get out of school in June, and it's when you are in the middle of the season. So
Yeah, exactly.
unfortunately, you come
It
back
was
in
unfortunate.
September, it's done. Hey, tell me a little bit about aquaculture. I'm not familiar with that at all.
Yeah, so here in Florida, we've got a lot of aquaculture operations. There's really kind of two different ways you could go about it. One, I would say, is kind of like the normal aquaculture, which, you're raising fish for food, whether that's tilapia, catfish, whatever you're raising. You're raising them in a pond, and you are controlling the water that goes in there, obviously. And it's great because it works with hydroponics, so growing plants in water. So we call that aquaponics. And we had
Can
that
you
in our
use the
system.
same water?
Yeah, you can. So we had a system. It was like a 500-gallon tank, and we had tilapia in there. And then just beside it, there was a really big plastic container that we grew some leafy greens and lettuce in. And so we had a pump that would pump up water from the tank, fill it up with in the plastic container with the plants. And then the plants would essentially take up all the nutrients from the fish waste, and then it would return that water clean, filtered, back into the fish pond. And so it would recirculate. And you can go super in depth on that. We didn't go super in depth on it, but it was really basic and it was really cool. It was really effective. Like our students loved it. We even so we had like a little
picture. It's crazy. Yeah, just imagine, because I never seen anything like this. So it's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. Aquaponics, aquaculture is like this whole beast, but it was really neat. And that's kind of what we did. But also here in Florida, in terms of aquaculture, you can also raise fish for aquariums. Like that's not really, aquaculture, you're not really raising the fish for food, but it's a really big industry that kind of counts here in Florida because you've got a lot of little farms that raise a bunch of fish for aquariums. Think of things like I don't remember like common fish names off the top of my head, but there are a bunch of common. It's like a Picossamus, which is going to be like an algae eater, like the big little black ones that like are on the side of the fish tanks. Those are one, and it just really depends. But we really focused on how can we raise fish and plants at the same time, and it worked out really cool. Like our students loved it, and our teachers loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's something I noticed here in the US. I've been here for a year and a half or something. There is such a big country that any industry like the one you're describing right now can be successful because it's so many people and so many. Because even I was driving the other day in the freeway and I saw this guy. He specialized in koi ponds.
Oh, cool.
Koi fish.
Yeah.
So imagine, like, to this guy to develop a business like that. I mean, there is a market. They call him and say, "Hey, I need to clean my koi pond or whatever." So, like you mentioned, like probably not a big industry, but there is a market for that.
Oh yeah. So I'm here in Florida, and I'm in Panama City, like the north end of Florida. And Florida, I'm a little bit biased, but it's super diverse in terms of like agriculture. So up here in the Panhandle, we've got a lot of cattle ranches, and we also have a lot of timber farms. So we've got a lot of pine trees that's cut down and it's used for paper goods, and then the bigger ones are used for wood. So we've got a lot of that here in Northwest Florida. But then as you go down to Central Florida, there's a lot of fruits. There's a lot of strawberries, blueberries, a lot of citrus, not as much as there was decades ago.
Yeah, I heard the story about those buyers killing pretty much everything there.
Yeah, the citrus greening was bad. Just the market was bad. And so, yeah, Florida is super diverse, which is awesome. And you'll see that like kind of around the country, which is really cool. Like no two counties are the exact same. I think that's one of the cool parts about agriculture is that there's always, you travel 100 miles, the ag scene is usually going to be very different there than it was where you were previously.
That's awesome. Well, the same here in California a little bit. We drove all the way to Tahoe and we kind of took the 5 north. And obviously I'm in Lake Forest, Orange County, so it's a bunch of a lot of houses, very southern. But you start getting out of this area past LA, and then all the farm kind of opens up, and you see miles and miles, almost say kilometers, but people here don't get it. Miles and miles of land with different crops and stuff. So probably kind of same what you said there.
Yeah, I'll have to put you in touch with Tara Coronado. She's the something Beaver on Instagram. That's like her handle. But
I follow her too.
Yeah,
she's the red-haired girl.
Yes, and she does field tours, I believe, or field trips. Field trips is the name of her series where she travels around to different California farms and ranches, and she's great. She highlights a lot of the different farms in California. I believe she started a vineyard too.
Yeah, I follow her too, and I seen where you mentioned it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. She even interviewed. Everything for me started with this guy called Matt. I don't know if you follow. He kind of stopped doing social media. I forgot his last name. Matt, and I ran into his video, and he was showing his day to day in the farm, and he have citrus too. And back then, I was running these orange orchards, and kind of that's how it started. Like, okay, I like what this guy's doing. I can do the same, and I challenged myself and start doing it in English too. And then cool. Tara interviewed him in a video and then it's on YouTube probably.
Oh, that's super fun. Yeah. Have you, are you thinking about doing the podcast both in English or in Spanish, or are you going to have like some subtitles or?
Actually, I am already doing it in both languages. So my first episodes are in Spanish, and then I have one with Jessica, this girl. She's growing microgreens here in Orange County, and then I have another one in Spanish. So yeah, my podcast is probably going to be one of those weird ones.
No, that's
But
cool. I think that's such a good idea because I mean, everybody around the world can listen to podcasts. So you have one episode in English, another one in Spanish. I think that's really cool because you're kind of serving that whole audience. And
yeah,
I watched a clip from that and I saw her microgreens. They were really cool.
yeah, no, that hair product is amazing, and I met her in a farmer's market. I was brand new into the states, and then we went to farmers market. I said, I wanna go to a farmers market, and I want to know how it is, how they look like, because we have something similar down in Chile. And yeah, I never. My first experience with microgreens, like fresh, she was like pretty
Hmm.
much cutting them and putting into the trays. So we got in touch, and then when I decided to like go with this, I called her and say, "Hey, do you want to be part of this thing?" And she said, "Yeah, absolutely." And I ended up interviewing her. And I think you're my second episode in English. And after this, I have another. I'm going to record another episode with a guy from Chile who is working with machines like sprayers and something like that.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, yeah, nice. Well, it's an honor to be your second English guest.
Yeah, thank you. No, well, I want to pick your brain too, so
Yeah, no,
it's
happy to
going to
help.
be a win-win. So let's go back to you because you're the star of the show today. So I have that you went to Florida State. We talk about you living in Panama City, north of Florida. Something that got my attention reading about you is and I'm going to read is learning management system, and that got my attention because I have no idea what it is and how it's related to agriculture.
Yeah, no, so it is actually not related to agriculture at all. So
Okay.
just the podcast and everything is just like kind of like my side gig. And so my day job, I worked for a software company and basically I was teaching people how to use our software. So I really enjoy like learning new technologies and stuff. And so my day job was just that. Like I was teaching people how to use our software efficiently, how, like creating training videos. And I would say around the pandemic, around 2020, you heard that term learning management systems pop up a lot. And basically those are just like online schools. That's pretty much it. And like all these different companies like Microsoft SharePoint, all these other tools would come and basically they were like, hey, if you've got employees or customers that you need to teach, you can put all of your content on our website and we'll manage it for you. So that's really, I kind of
Mhm.
saw that trend in 2021. And that's when I decided to get my master's at FSU. And so that's kind of why I did that. So yeah, that my day job is not related to agriculture at all, unfortunately, but it's still a
Yeah.
little side gig
So
that I have with the
so if,
podcast.
let's say I want to like teach people. Let's bring it to agriculture. I want to teach people how to prune or how to like plant trees or something like that. I can use this system to set up like a course step by step, and then kind of distribute it to the workers or something like that, or not
Yeah.
on off.
Yeah, you could. It kind of depends, like, kind of what you'd want to do if you're a single company wanting to do stuff like that, or if you're like an independent creator. I mean, because technically you could do something like that on YouTube, on Instagram. It really just kind of depends how you would set it up. I know some people, for example, they might do it with Patreon, where you pay them or like you subscribe to their Patreon, for example, and then you get a course on how to do X, Y, and Z. For example, like from the creator economy, courses exploded like 2 or 3 years ago where
Yeah,
everybody had their course online. And I mean, that totally works. I think Hajib is a website where you can do that, where you can create your courses and then sell it to people.
yeah.
Even places like I've got my website on WordPress, and you can do it that way as well. They have these individual pages you can create for your website and it works like a learning management system. You can put a video, you can put like documents they can download for homework or whatever, and then you can make those pages viewable just for paying members or something like that. So it really
That's
kind of
very
depends what you'd want to
interesting.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I've been getting advertising for something called School, Skool.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, so I've seen that. I don't know if he's the brainchild behind it, but I know Alex Hormozy is kind of like one of the big influencers behind it.
Yeah.
And it's like all these online entrepreneurs are going to there. And I'm not sure if it is like a big school where you can upload content like that. I think it is, but I'm not sure. I've seen a lot of stuff like that for that lately though.
Interesting. Because one of the things I'm trying to do right now in California is obviously I arrived here and have nothing like just looking around, and I noticed people have a lot of fruit trees, and they don't know what to do with them. They don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to prune it, harvest, or whatever, you know. And also, like, the thing I'm doing is go to people's backyard and build garden beds and put vegetables in there.
I've seen some of your videos where you do that, where
Yeah,
you're building the garden beds. Those are cool.
yeah. So I was thinking something like how I can reach to more people and maybe develop something where I can teach how to build it, how to get the wood and build it, and how to choose the soil, and then how to start from seed to little plants, and then put in. So I don't know. It's something that's in my mind. It's kind of like related to this topic we're talking right now, the learning management system.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll try to find some videos and send them to you and like news articles. I'm not sure if you've heard about this, but again, during the pandemic, this kind of exploded in like urban areas. There were these garden clubs, and they would go around their communities, and they would say, "Hey, we want to start an urban garden club where we put a raised bed in your front yard or your backyard. We take care of it, and you can get some of the produce." Have you heard of those before?
No, but that's exactly what I'm trying to do, because if I build a garden bed in your backyard, but you don't have the time and the knowledge, my idea is to go every week and make sure everything go right, and then harvest and leave it in your kitchen or whatever. But that's how my idea come out too, something like that, because people don't have the time or the knowledge.
Yeah. I'll try to find some stuff and send it to you. But yeah, there were groups like that where, it was like a group of 20, 30 people, and maybe they each had a garden bed in their front yard, and maybe they had other people like their neighbors, and they would go and tend for it, like take care of it, and then like whoever, like if it was your house and you had it in your front yard, you would get a certain amount of the produce, and then the other group would get like the rest of it or something like that. But it was really popular, and I don't know, I'm sure stuff like that is still going on, but I think
Yeah,
it's such a cool concept because people want to do that. But if you've got like a 9 to 5 job and you don't have a green thumb, but you want to do it, I think this will be a great
yeah,
opportunity.
exactly. That's how everything come to my mind too, because I see it with people and talking to neighbors and stuff. So okay, back to you again. Sorry, I don't want to.
No, this is fine. This is a good interview. This is a good podcast.
Yeah,
A lot of back and
perfect.
forth. I
Yeah,
love it.
well, exactly. Me too. So all right, so you're doing this, and so how you're managing now that we're talking about this, your time with the school and then creating all these contents, because that's something that I feel like you require a lot of like discipline and work behind it. And I don't know, I want to hear your experience, how you manage and do this all.
Man, I didn't really find a system that was 100% like working, but I tried to stick to like scheduling and kind of like some rough time blocking. Do you know what time blocking is?
Yeah, kind of like you
So
cancel this time specifically for this subject, right?
yeah, exactly. I tried some rough time blocking where it's like, especially when I was in school, I would be like, all right, Tuesdays, Thursdays from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Those are homework times. And then maybe Wednesdays are, that's when I'm going to edit the podcast. Friday, Monday, that's when I'm going to make videos for YouTube or something like that. So I've tried time blocking and it works pretty well. But also, I'm a really big fan of like legal pads, like just writing down like to-do list on a legal pad, like what I need to do. Hey, this is mine for my recent interview. So great
There we
minds think
go.
alike. There's something like really that feels great about like writing something down and then just like
Yeah,
crossing it off. And I've tried like to-do lists on apps and everything, and I'm a big tech guy, but those just never hit for me. But something just writing it down always helps, whether that's like a to-do list for
I'm
homework
pretty
or
sure
whatever.
you journal too, right?
I I do journal. I have a journal here too. Yep, I do.
That's awesome, man.
Do you too?
Hey, look at this.
We did not plan this at all, just for the record.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's
All right.
sweet, dude.
That's cool.
Perfect. All right. So let me get back to all the questions I have for you. I got blanked. Sorry.
Hey, no, it happens.
I know. Then you can fix it in editing, right?
Yeah, I always tell everybody in the episodes, I'm like, hey, if you need to redo an answer, just let me know. I'll pause and edit. But usually I'm editing out my own stutters, so no pressure.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day. I was using the word perfect like 10,000 times, and I
Yep.
say, whatever. Eventually, I already got it, and I pick it up, so I will control myself for next time. So just learn
Mine,
every day something new.
oh yeah, those word fillers. Mine for the longest time, and I still say it, is "that's really cool." And I said it so much. I thought about doing T-shirts and just writing like "that's really
Oh, that
cool"
would be
and just having it be
your
a
phrase,
joke.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Right here in your hat too.
yeah.
All right. So with this podcast, let's go a little bit to the podcast because I have a couple questions for that. You start in 2019. How was your first experience? Because we learn as we go. I guess you do the same thing. Like you study more computer science. You teach. So we're not journalists. So we didn't train or learn how to do this. Was your beginning? Uh, Sorry, that's when my English crashed.
No, you're good. Yeah, yeah. I in the beginning, I was just like I was really nervous about getting stuff out because I was like kind of like how you're saying, like I'm not a journalist, I'm not an interviewer, but and if you watch YouTube videos about like creators and like all their advice, the best advice that I always heard was like you've just got to get the content out there, you've got to get the reps in, and then you'll get better. So like your first few episodes might be rough with editing, with your questioning, with just how you conduct the interview, and that's totally fine. Like that is how everything happens. And like if you want to get better, you've just got to make it. Like
Yeah.
there's something I heard somebody said that they're like you don't need to be scared to press publish because it's perfect. You just need to press publish to get it out there, and you're just going to get better over time. Like I'm still podcasts are weird because I'm still trying to figure out the best way to do them because you can come up with all of the talking points, but then you can have a fantastic interview and not cover any of them. Like you
Yeah.
want to guide the conversation, but you don't want to dictate the conversation, if that makes sense. So
Yes.
it's
Exactly.
it's kind of a really cool, I don't know, like a cool art form to kind of guide the conversations a little bit.
Well, I guess it comes with time too, like because to master that, to like guide the conversation and not like get carried away, that's the part you need time for that to
Mm-hmm.
get to be good at that. Well, obviously there's a bunch of books too that you can read how to communicate better, how to ask question. I think today I saw one say how to be master in a small talk and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the small talk is key. Small talk is fine. And then, like, kind of staying on topic is kind of a big one. Like, everybody thinks that, they can be the next Joe Rogan and talk about whatever, but not everybody can do that. You've got to make sure that you're focusing on the subject of whatever your
yeah.
podcast is, but also, like, understanding that small talk is totally fine. And it's okay to get in the weeds about random stuff. Like, that's fine from time to time.
Exactly. And I feel like that will make the episode even better because if we go right into just, I don't know, technical stuff and the nitty gritty of agriculture, it will be so niche to the people who can listen. But if I want to know the person who have all this knowledge and pass it around, that's how you also make a better conversation. Because, for example, I know you have kids, you live in Florida, all these things that are not specifically related to the subject, but it's important to bring into the conversation.
Oh yeah, because that helps like us relate, and that helps the listeners relate to them too. Like whatever that might be, maybe their parents, maybe they also live in Florida, maybe they're also from Chile. Like it really just kind of depends.
Do you ever interview somebody from South America?
I think I have. I don't know. I had. I think I had someone on from Colombia or Venezuela. One of the two. I don't know. I need to go look at that. The two primarily, I would say the primary ones are Europe, North America, and Australia. I'm not sure if I've had anybody on from South America. I will need to fix that
There you
though.
go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, especially because farming down there, going back to the subject, is huge. Like every
Mm-hmm.
country in South America have huge areas of farming and different climate, different soil, different technique. Like if you compare Chile and Peru, in some they were like competitors in the sense, okay, who is going to be better and producing? And for so long, Chile was like being the master and kind of like getting better than Peru. But now you see Peru, and those guys are freaking booming. It's like their blueberry production, and I went there one year. I have the luck to go there. Is crazy because you go into the desert and you see all these sand dunes pretty much, and they're
Hmm.
full of blueberries, full of blueberries.
Really?
It's very interesting to see. You go driving the freeway and it's like where I'm going to find blueberries or at a farm around here. And then kind of like you cross, I don't know, go to behind a hill, and then it's like blueberries and avocados and grapes, and it's very interesting to see. It's like Chile in that sense is it's smaller, and it's kind of like everything together because it's smaller. It's a thin country,
Mm-hmm.
but that for me got my attention. And probably you go to I don't know, Paraguay, Uruguay. Uruguay is a small country too, and they have a lot of cattle. So you find different things. It's very interesting. So yeah, if you can, probably it's going to be hard to get the people in English because I don't know how will work.
Yeah,
But yeah, for sure there must be people around. They
that's
can
true.
share their knowledge with you.
Oh yeah, no, totally. I need to do a good job of that. That's a really good idea because I know South America is really diverse in terms of the crops. We've got some blueberries in our refrigerator, and they're from Chile. I was looking at them this morning.
Oh,
It was
really?
like product of Chile. I was like,
Nice.
hey, yeah, I think they're from Walmart, and so I think Walmart gets most of their blueberries in the wintertime, at least, from Chile.
Well, right now, let me see. It is summer, so yeah, they are full
Yeah, that's right.
harvesting right now. Blueberries, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cherries normally you find from Chile. Avocados are big. We compete with Mexico in that sense, but
Really?
some time of the year here, the only avocados you find are from Chile.
Nice. That's
Actually,
good to know.
yeah, it's funny because the export company who bought the fruit from the farm I was running is called Propal. So one day I was in one of the supermarket here and I found an avocado. It said Propal, so I got it. Take a picture, send it to my friend down there. Say, hey, your avocados are getting here.
Oh, that's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah.
If you have anybody that you would recommend come on my show, like, and if they speak English, like, definitely let me know. Like, I would love to have them on. That'd be a really cool perspective.
Yeah, I'll do my best trying to find those people because I don't know, the English part is kind of going to be the tough one for me.
Really? I bet. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel lucky that I can like do this in both language because, and it's part of the personal challenge. Like, dude, you need how you improve your English. Okay, go and interview people and talk to people and get it out. That's actually how I learned too. Like, I was never embarrassed to, and I'm make huge mistake in the past, like saying the wrong things.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I bet. My
yeah.
my wife and I, we travel a lot, and like I would say in the past 4 years, probably we've been to Italy, France, and Vietnam, Australia, and Japan, like all on different trips.
Wow. Yeah.
And we were in Japan one time. What is I forget what thank you is in Italian, but we were in Japan.
Grazie.
Yeah,
Grazie.
grazie mille is like thank you very much. And we were in Japan, and I said thank you, but I said grazie mille, and I was like, oh wait, no.
Wrong country.
I was like wrong country, and my wife just looked at me. She's like, Trevor, are you serious? It was really funny.
Yeah, for sure. It's like grazie. You do the Italian gesture, like
Grazie
grazie.
mille, and they're like, what?
Ain't nobody.
I'm sorry, what? It was so funny.
Yeah, don't get it. All right. So another question actually about that is how you come with the name Farm Traveler, and how do you do to travel so much?
Yeah. So before I started Farm Traveler, my wife and I's favorite show was Booze Traveler on Travel Channel. And it was with Jack Maxwell. And he would go around the country and around the world and learn about local cocktails, local drinks. And he would travel like all around the United States, all around South America, Europe, everywhere. And he just had a great time doing it. And I was like, Ali, what if I did something like that for
my computer? I think
for
froze and is
agriculture?
trying
And
to
so
reconnect.
I did it, and it's been fun. And I've only traveled to I think like 5 farms so far. One in Hawaii because we were out there in Hawaii for a trip, and then most of them have been here in Florida. So they've been like relatively.
These are real
close
bummer,
to our
people.
hometown.
My
So it's
internet's
worked out well. It's
failing
been
me
fun.
right now in the middle of this interview, and I don't know if I can refresh.
Oop.
Are you back? Are you back now?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I
No,
hate when
you're
this
fine.
happen.
Nice. No,
But
you're fine.
So you need to go because I don't know if the record is going to keep what you say, but I didn't hear anything. So go over.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I know internet issues are really tricky on
I know.
podcast interviews. I've had that pop up a ton. But no, so why the name Farm Traveler? So my wife and I's favorite show years ago was Booze Traveler on Travel Channel. And the host, Jack Maxwell, would travel around the country and the world and just kind of learn about local drinks, local cocktails, beers, stuff like that. And my wife Allie was like, "Hey, why don't you do that? Like, why don't you call it Farm Traveler or something?" I was like, "Oh, that's a good idea." And
Oh,
so I
awesome.
started the blog, started the podcast, and all that stuff. And so far, I think we've been to 5 farms. One was in Hilo, Hawaii, so the big island of Hawaii, and we were there on a trip, so it worked out well. And then the rest have been here in Northwest Florida. So they've been with like around an hour or 2 hours from our house. So we would just travel around and film it. But it's been fun doing a couple of farm tour videos and stuff like that. It's been a really good time. And we've learned a lot, visited a lot of amazing farmers. We've been to a dairy farm, a cattle ranch, and then a microgreens farm in
Oh,
Tallahassee. So it's been
nice.
a good time.
So they are receptive when you contact them and say, "Oh yeah, I want to show you what I'm doing," because I contact somebody here, say, "Hey, I want to like kind of learn what you're doing, maybe talk about it, make a couple videos," and they look at me so weird that I
Really?
was like, "Oh, okay, never mind."
I would say most everybody's been pretty receptive, just as long as I explain, like, hey, I would like to visit on this date. I want to film X, Y, and Z, and I can give you all the videos afterwards so you can share or let me know if you have any questions. It is a challenge to make them feel as comfortable as possible because, like, you're going there, you're filming their business, their
Yeah,
operation, and all that stuff. So it is
pretty
tricky,
much
but
their home. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But most of the time, everybody's pretty okay with it.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
on those trips outside the US, like you mentioned Japan and Italy, did you visit any farm around or not at all?
So we did Japan and then Vietnam on a trip because one of my wife's coworkers was getting married in Vietnam and we were invited.
Oh,
So,
nice.
and we'd always wanted to go to Japan. So we went to Japan for like 3 or 4 days and we went down to Vietnam. We were going to try to do a rice field in Vietnam, but it didn't work out. But usually when we travel internationally, we kind of want to make some stuff happen. I don't think, yeah, we didn't really do anything in Japan, but we tried some Wagyu, which was delicious. And we put some videos up about that. But if we have time, I try to like to schedule some stuff, but sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So,
Okay, perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, well, one time I did this, I was traveling around Chile and kind of, I don't know, I was going to visit a client for something and discover a Brussels sprouts farm,
Oh,
really
really?
small. And I shoot like a couple of shorts and then upload those. At
Oh,
least
that's
that worked
cool.
for me a couple of times. Yeah. Because I feel like sometimes people, like you said, they feel if you need to explain things pretty well, so they
Hmm.
go on board. But when you don't have the time, you are kind of like passing by and say, "Oh, this is so cool. They are, I don't know, planting carrots or whatever." And because one time I did that, like I just go and record people. And I feel like after that, it's like, oh, I should have asked permission, but whatever. And they were, yeah, planting and they were very receptive, the workers, and they kind of joke around and that worked out. But
Oh, good.
also, they're going to go all the way around like, "Hey, get out of here. We're calling the police or whatever. We're calling our boss."
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a little risk. But yeah, that's maybe something you can do in one of those your trips if you see something that's interesting, like just quick pictures or videos and show it around.
Yeah, that would be fun. My wife and I, we did like a vision board for this year for like our goals, like what we want to do. And I want to try to do 5 farm tour videos this year. So I'm going to try to knock those out. That's more than we've ever done total. So hopefully we can make it happen. But like, there's a couple of farms around here that we have like a small lavender farm that I think would be super cool. It's just this lady that
Oh,
grows
nice, yeah.
lavender. So it'd be cool to like go there, see how she does it because lavender is super popular. She sells it at the farmer's market. There's also a couple other places around here that they've got cattle, pigs, chickens, or farms. So yeah,
And
it's all
those,
about
well,
planning.
yeah, exactly. And the lavender is beautiful as a field too. When you see all the flowers coming out, it's
Mm.
real gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
So one of the questions I also have is like, because the traveling require resources, but obviously you have this other side job. All this social media, how do you monetize anything to put into the podcast, or do you finance it with your work?
So yeah, I just finance it with my work. It really depends. I have ran ads in the past with some past guests I've had on, and sometimes those work, sometimes those don't. But yeah, like right now, I think so. Everything with a podcast, I think, is like $40 a month, and that's like my editing software. That's Riverside
Yeah.
FM. That's everything. So yeah, I'm funding all that myself. Um, yeah,
So you're using the same program as me.
yeah, I'm using Riverside. I love it. So,
Oh,
oh, this is a
nice.
fun fact. If you like, what do you know? What level you are on Riverside? What plan you have?
I think I pay. Oh, that's actually a great question. I didn't pay the basic. I think I paid the second one. I think I
Nice.
paid like the same, like 36 or $40 a month.
Yeah, that's not, yeah, that's about what I have. I should have told you before this, but when you go to renew, if you will just Google like Riverside discount code, you can usually find one, and it will be for like 30 or 40%. I did it last year, and I think it got me like $30 or $40 off, which was
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
So
Yeah.
if you just simply Google it, you can usually find one. I've been doing that for like a lot of online subscriptions, and usually sometimes it works, but sometimes you'll put it in there, the discount code will work, sometimes it won't work. So it's just like a lot of copying pasting, but you can find one.
Yeah. I did that with Epidemic Sound. Do you ever
Nice.
use that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I got like 60% discount. That was something
Nice.
I didn't expect at all. Like I tried a couple coupons too or codes, and when it works, I said, okay, pay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
That's
was
awesome.
all right. And so the podcast and see you finances, like there's no do you this advertising you mentioned is like you reach to these people, how they come to you, or because I saw your numbers, you have good audience too. Like
Yeah, it's a decent audience. I would say so technically, this is how podcast stats work. Technically, we are like a top 40, I'd say probably a top 50% podcast right now. And we get like maybe I would say like 200 downloads a week, which is not bad. It's not great,
no.
but it's not bad at all. And I think there's something like 85% of podcasts never get past episode 5. So, if you get to episode 6, you're better than 85% of podcasts out there.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I think this is
Yeah,
number
exactly.
7.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, you're better than 85% out there.
Yeah,
But I
nice.
did forget. So I do have ads that run on episodes. So I'm part of a podcast collective. It's called Waypoint. And so basically it's just like a group of like outdoor and farming related podcasts. And so basically that's just how I upload the podcast. So our podcasting platform is included in that. And then they run ads for us. But I'll get like maybe $5-10 a month in ad revenue, which is not bad at all. I mean,
Okay.
over the year, it kind of helps keep the lights on and everything for the show.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's not bad. And you can find a lot of that. There's some like there's some agriculture related ones. I'll have to look them up, but they kind of are the same thing. They're kind of like a collective of outdoor podcasts and farming podcasts and stuff like that. So those are really helpful. I've been a part of that one for I think 4 years, 4 or 5 years, I believe.
nice,
I'm a part of that one, and that one's cool. And then I also upload my show to carbontv.com, which that one's also mostly outdoors, but that's where we have like a ton of our audience at. So that's just like a whole separate website, which is cool. So yeah, you never know where your audience is going to be.
I know that's another advantage I have to launch a couple one in Spanish and in English because I can get like a lot of people in the Spanish community and in South America and the same here. So
that's such a cool angle too. I feel like not a ton of podcasts do that.
I know. Yeah, I was trying to look for those yesterday, kind of have names. And the majority I found out is more about learning a new language instead of like a specific subject and topics. So I might be a unicorn. No, I'm kidding.
You never know. Yeah, definitely. I don't know of many other ag podcasts that do Spanish and English. So you might be a unicorn in that podcast market.
That would be cool. Yeah, because obviously Dax Shepard and the podcast Armchair. Yeah, those guys run ads all the time. So they probably make hundreds of thousands a month in ads.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah. My idea is just to be able to, like you say, keep the lights on and keep having fun and meeting people. So nobody want to.
Hey, as long as you're enjoying it, it's a good hobby.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Exactly. That's true. All right. Back to the podcast. Now I want to talk because with 250 episodes, you talk to a lot of people already.
Oh, yeah.
If you can pick the top 3 of your guesses based on their story, there's such a cool story that they get into you and you remember them pretty like good.
Oh man. The first one that comes to mind, this episode was really early on and I found them on Instagram and they were incredible. But they are in England and they are a dairy and they're called Vine Farm Dairy. So I can't remember their names, like what family it is, but I remember their story. They had on their dairy, they had a milk vending machine, which I thought was so cool. like on the side of the road at their dairy, there was this little shed, like a nice shed, and you could go in there, bring your own bottle, and you could fill up with their fresh milk. Like it was literally
Oh
a
my
milk vending
God, that's
machine.
awesome.
It was
Yeah.
so neat. And I was like, I've never heard of something like this before. And they were like, yeah, like we loved it. It's super neat. It's been a big hit with the community. They've won like several awards for like ag ingenuity for this vending machine. And I just thought it was so cool. I was like, that is such a cool way to be innovative and also to
Yeah.
build like a really good customer base. I just thought that was super neat. So I had to have them on. That was like one of the first 20 episodes, I think. So
Wow.
that
Yeah,
one was
that's
really
pretty
cool.
cool. That would be unique to see. Instead of getting the Coca-Cola, go get a glass of milk or something.
Yeah, exactly. Go get a cold, farm fresh glass of milk,
Oh
which
my
is really
God,
neat.
that's so cool.
Another one
Perfect. We
I
got
would say,
one there.
yeah, exactly. That was cool. So that was Vine Farm Dairy. And another one was Joel Salatin. I had him on. He's from Polyface Farms. And he's like one of the godfathers kind of the regenerative farming movement. He was on the Joe
Oh,
Rogan show
nice.
multiple times. And I had him on a few years ago, and it was so cool to talk with him because he's a
Is that
great
guy with a
storyteller.
deep voice and beard and kind of like very...
No, so that is Will Harris from White Oak
Yeah,
Pastures. He's also been on the podcast. He's great too.
okay, I'm confused with those because that guy talk about regenerative agriculture too.
Yeah, he does. He does. I've had one of his daughters on the show. I forget her
Oh,
name,
nice.
but yeah, I've had her on, and she's awesome. Her dad's awesome. They're really like kind of, I would say one of the biggest Southern voices in regenerative ag. And yeah, he's great. But yeah, Joel Salatin had him on. He's great. Interviewed him years ago. He's a great storyteller. He was super fun to chat with. He does a lot of workshops and really just learning about him, how he does everything, how he experimented with the regenerative farming, and kind of how he became the face of regenerative farming at a moment. So it was really cool to chat with him.
Where is he from? Which state is he from?
I believe he's in Virginia. So his farm, Polyface Farms, is in somewhere in Virginia. I don't know where exactly at.
Perfect.
And yeah, Will Harris, he's in southern Georgia. He's actually, I need to go visit him. He's like 3 or 4 hours away from me. So he's relatively close with White Oak Pasture. So I need to go there and visit him.
I'm a big fan of the accent from the area of this country. So when I hear people talking like that, it's like, whoa, that's cool.
Really? Okay. Have you heard anybody from Louisiana talk, like the Cajun?
Oh, probably.
Okay, yeah, they speak like Creole
really
down there. It's like a mix of French, and it's interesting. It's really fun.
Actually, I think probably that video I saw is from there. It's like this guy, they're in a lake, and he said to the person, "Don't call me that," something like that.
Yeah.
That's the phrase he say, but he said with such a strong accent that I couldn't understand what the guy say until somebody pick it up and say, "This is what the guy is saying." And then I play it again and say, now I get it. But it was such a thick accent. That was cool. Like, I don't feel bad about this stuff. It's like, okay, if I pick up those accent, there we go. My English is getting better.
There you go. We used to watch Swamp People on the History Channel, and it's about alligator hunters in Louisiana. And they were talking with a thick Creole accent, and they've got subtitles on the whole show because you cannot understand a lick they are saying. It is so funny.
Wow. That's another thing that makes about here. Like, the English changed so much from state to state. Like, you're in California, you have one accent. You go to Texas, you go to Louisiana, you go to Georgia, or even New Yorkers have a different accent. Then you go to, I don't know, Montana, whatever. But that happened with any language. That's true. But it's funny here to hear those.
Yeah, if you go to no, you're good. If you ask anybody in the Midwest about agriculture, most around the country will say agriculture. In the Midwest, they'll say agriculture. They'll say it like with an E. They'll say if you ask anybody from Minnesota, they will say agriculture. And you'll catch it. You'll be like, oh, they mean agriculture. Agriculture. It's really funny.
I know. That's when because I joke with my brother-in-law, say, yeah, I don't have an accent. Obviously I do, but when you compare yourself with all these other people that also have their nationals and they have these accents, I'm not that bad, you know?
Yeah, no, totally.
All right, what would be your third one from the top stories?
I would have to say it would probably be Lava Aloha in Hawaii. So that's one that I did the farm tour there, and they
Nice.
grow cacao in Hawaii. So cacao
Oh
makes
wow.
chocolate, and they grow it in the lava rich soil in Hilo, Hawaii. So that was super cool. I talked with with I think the farm manager, Deus Bencomo, chatted with him. Great to talk with him, and it was really cool just to learn about growing stuff in Hawaii and also the whole cacao process, because it's a very intense process to grow the cacao and then to eventually make chocolate. And also the
Yeah.
chocolate is delicious. We've ordered a bunch of it and it's really good.
Nice. So how long was that one? Because recently these guys have a boom in their prices, which was perfect for their industry. So do
Yeah,
you
so
remember?
that one was years ago. I think like 3 or 4 years ago. So it's been a hot minute. But yeah, their prices have gone up because I know Hawaii is crazy because they've got to import so much stuff, and so it's like
Yeah.
a logistical nightmare kind of. And yeah, importing. Well, it's not really importing, but it kind of is. Like bringing the chocolate here
Yeah.
to the States is pricey, but also it's a really good chocolate. And especially when it comes to chocolate now, there's a lot of stuff about like cruelty free chocolate. Like
Oh
it's
really?
not. There's some chocolate farms, I think in Africa, where they've got like child labor, and there's a lot of people that are kind
Uh
of going against that. Like I know Hershey's, some of the chocolate that Hershey's harvests is kind of in that condition, and so there's some people that are like, hey, you should get, I guess like cruelty free chocolate, and so this is like
yeah.
really a great alternative. But it really depends. It really depends on where you're getting your chocolate from. But that's
It,
another
it,
issue that's out there.
I know, interesting you mentioned that because that's part of the things in agriculture that people don't know. Sometimes that kind of
Yeah.
situation happens, like a bunch of kids working and getting your products. Luckily, down in Chile, that doesn't happen anymore. Kind of like if you want to hire somebody who's 14 or 13 and want to work for the summer, you need parents' authorization and you still have to pay all this stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit more regulated, but that's good with the chocolate. I was thinking too the with the cacao down in Hawaii with the lava rock or lava soil. That's probably really good for the cacao, right?
Yeah, I forget what all he's mentioned it, but he was like, yeah, it's really unique, and it's not only good for the plant, but also gives the chocolate a very unique flavor. And when we had it, we had a bunch of different varieties. We had like dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and all that stuff. And I would say like the chocolate was richer than something you would normally taste. I mean, it wasn't, like a Hershey's chocolate where it had all this stuff pumped into it. Not that that's
Yeah.
bad, but like when you're making chocolate at a massive scale, that's
Hmm.
something you got to do. But this chocolate just tasted different. Like I don't really know how to describe it because I haven't had it in
More
a while.
homemade, maybe.
But it was really, really different, and it was really good. And you could you would taste and be like, okay, yeah, I taste the difference here because of this lava rich soil.
Wow, I would love to try that because like I'm a huge fan of chocolate, but I like dark chocolate. Like if I have to buy a chocolate, I will buy something that's 75, 80% cacao.
Dang,
So I
okay.
like those flavor.
The
Yeah, I
bitter
found a
chocolate.
92. Yeah, I found a 92 one time. It's like, it was awesome. It was really good.
It's so funny when you get like the 92 or 95% like cacao dark chocolate, like it tastes really different and you're like, "Oh, this is really bitter, but it's good. It's different."
I know. I give it to one of my boys and he say, I don't like it. I say, okay, give it back.
Yeah, it's all
I'll
right.
eat it.
Less for you, more for me.
I know, exactly. Well, they say because if it's higher in cacao, so that means they have more compounds that are healthy for you. Like I don't know, this is when I don't, it's like more polyphenols. I don't know
I
if that's
think
the word,
so. Yeah, the
right?
polyphenols.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there's more of it in dark chocolate, and so like it's
Yeah,
really good
more
to eat, especially at night.
antioxidants. Yeah. So have all the good benefit of the chocolate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Another thing I want to ask you because I heard twice in one of your episodes is the video games that you play about farming.
Yeah.
I have I'm not a gamer. I have no idea. So please enlighten me, man.
Okay, so this is a huge thing. So I play Farming Simulator 25 every now and then, and basically it comes out every few years. So Farming Simulator 25 came out in 2025, and it's a really big thing. It's actually an esport in Europe where they have teams that play this game and they go up against other teams to see how fast they can harvest, how fast they can plant. It's crazy. And I've
Wow.
been playing it for a while, and it's pretty fun. I was streaming it for a little bit before Christmas, and actually, I interviewed years ago the developers of it, Giant Software, and just kind of talk with them about like how they do it because the equipment in there is like really. I mean, it's all like legitimately licensed equipment, whether that's Kubota, Case IH, John Deere, New Holland, whatever else. So it's all accurate. The it's got like markets in it where the prices of the crops fluctuate. You can process them. Like in the farm I'm at now in the game, I'm growing sugar beets, and so you can harvest them and then you can sell them, or you can process them into sugar and then you can sell it.
Oh wow.
So it's like a whole thing, and it's a really good. It's fun, and honestly, it's also really educational because I've never operated a tractor, and so like on like a farming scale, I've driven a tractor
Yeah.
before, but you can actually see like how the implements work, how the tractors work, how they're all suited for different jobs on the farm. So it's cool. It's a really neat educational tool, and it's kind of been fun to play. It has
That's
been
what I
fun to
was
play.
thinking. Yeah, it's like if you play a video game that also you are learning things, that's the one I want to play, because especially the kids say, "Hey, we want a video game. Okay, play this one."
Oh yeah.
Become a real farmer online for now, because like you're describing it is so real. So that means is you will learn like the machine and maybe work on the soil, or but you have to wait. That's my question. Like if you put the corn, you don't have to wait the 90 days for harvest. It's like obviously in a video game you have to
So
speed up
you
things, right?
could, you could if you wanted. You actually, so you can go in there, you can customize how long a month is. The
Oh
default,
wow.
which is right now, which I've got it set to 1 month, is 4 days. So after those 4 days, like if I'm in August, 4 days, I'm in September. So it actually can go really quickly. You can even do where it's 1 day as a month. So it's really quickly. Or I don't know what the max
Ah.
is. You can maybe do 30 days. So you can really play around. So yeah, you don't really have to wait 90 days, which is nice. I will say the one bad thing I've experienced, and this kind of was like a good experience about like what it would be as a farmer. There was a bug in the game. I was harvesting cotton, but I couldn't pick up the cotton and put it in the semi to take it to get processed. So I wasted all that cotton. And in the game, I lost $80,000 and I couldn't do anything about it.
Whoa.
And it was a bug, and it was a really popular one. I was like, okay, this is a really good viewpoint as a farmer. As if I lost a crop, like I'm out $80,000, and I need to get that $80,000
Oh
at some
my
point.
God, that's true.
It was so annoying.
That feels real. That
Oh
sounds
yeah.
real to me, because that happened once winter for us. We got a big frost. I don't know, like a week before harvest the oranges, and something like that happened. Like one frost, and then the next day all the oranges were in the ground, and then you start
Mm.
making your calculation. Okay, kilos or whatever per hectare. Blah blah blah. It was a lot of money. So that's pretty accurate in your game.
Yeah, I was like, I hate this, but this is actually like really realistic. Like I'm kind
I
of glad it
know.
happened.
Wow. And what other things you can do with that game? Like obviously crops, but can you do trees?
Yeah,
Like I don't know, avocados or
you can do avocados, you can do rice, you can do fruits, you can do pine trees, you can do lumber, you can do all sorts of stuff. And it's really cool. I'm not big in the scene, but there's a really big modding scene where you can customize the game to do whatever. Like you can make your own maps and everything, and you can make your own farms. So you can do pretty much anything. There are so many different crop types. You can do sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, alfalfa, corn, wheat,
wow.
soybeans, just cherries, tomatoes, peppers, everything. You can do so much in that game.
Wow, that's very interesting. I want to check it out, because for the point to like teach the boys something, that would be a cool one to play.
Yeah, if you
You
can
play
look
in
on
your
like
computer, on the Nintendo, PlayStation, whatever of those
you
consoles.
can play on anything. I have a PC that I play on, but I know you can get Farming Sim on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and they've even got like 2023 editions, 2024. So you can play it and it's really realistic. It's
That would put me back in farming right away.
it would. Yeah, no, totally.
I'll check it out. Nice. All right. Another thing I have here. One second. I'm on to start crossing the notepads.
No, you're good. You're good.
So, in those 250 episodes, the latest that you've been recorded, any new tendency in the agriculture that you see is coming up? I saw you did a reel the other day with this new pyramid from the food here in the U.S. So that will be something new. We can talk about that if you want to.
Yeah, I just posted when I went live. I was like, "Hey, we got a new food pyramid. What do y'all think?" And a lot of people, I saw a lot of other posts about it, and they were like, "Well, it's not really changing a whole lot. It's just kind of like literally flipping it around, and it's giving more emphasis on protein. Like it's not that drastic, but I just thought it was kind of interesting. I was like, oh, I'll kind of see where this goes. But so far, it's been okay. I haven't seen anybody think it's dumb, but some people have been questioning it. But it's just something else. I feel like no matter what the government does right now, it's going to be a hot topic. So
I
I just thought
know.
it was really interesting.
Yeah, I saw it. I did like it because I'm kind of pro proteins and like don't eat too much sugar
Yeah.
and more vegetables and fruit. So, and the way they put it is like, okay, these things look bigger, so people kind of like look right away. Okay, this is what we should be eating instead of like the bottom part
Mm-hmm.
of the pyramid. So, but yeah, that was from my point of view. It's kind of like good to teach the people because this is a very personal opinion, obviously, but I feel like the way people consume sugar here or everywhere in the world, not just here, is crazy. So it's
Yeah.
like how to bring people back to eat more vegetables, eat more fruit. Like for example, for my boys in the morning, I don't give them cereals anymore. Not because I'm against cereals, because I feel like eat some eggs, get some protein in the morning, so you feel fuller, and you can I don't know even that will good for your development and everything instead of getting this Captain Crunch or whatever brand.
Yeah.
If you read the label, it's like a lot of sugar on it. And these kids already have a bunch of energy, so I don't need to put more
You don't need
powder.
to give them even more energy.
I know, yeah. One the other day, one Nutella for breakfast. I say, nope, you're not getting
Nope, not
Nutella.
today. You need some eggs. You need
No,
some protein.
exactly. So that's why I feel kind of like the pyramid in that sense. But what other tendencies that are coming in the agriculture world you've been getting from your podcast and interviewing people?
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of farmers get a lot more control, if that kind of makes sense, like with their prices. I know the beef market right now is really interesting because farmers are getting like beef ranchers are getting what they say is a fair share, which is great. Like I know that's kind of been a hot button topic. Like usually they've been underpaid. I mean, that's kind of farmers across the board. But I think
Yeah,
that's been one which has been really interesting to just kind of see. Um, and I think really also over the past, like I would say 5 years maybe, there's been a big trend of indoor agriculture. So things like growing plants indoors, kind of like hydroponics we were talking about earlier. Companies like Aero Farms, Gotham Greens are all really big brands where they grow leafy greens indoors. And those were kind of exploding, but now they're coming back down to earth because it's really expensive to get those operations off the ground. And yeah, it's really expensive to build those facilities and then to keep them running year round. And I think right now, I saw a study a few years ago that was saying something like it's still 30 to 40% more costly and energy intensive to grow those
mm,
products versus growing them outside. And the thing was like all those companies were exploding with investments because they were saying they're the next big thing. And
yeah.
Aerofarms was valued at $1 billion, but then they filed for bankruptcy a
Wow.
few years later because they
Yeah,
were
that's
like,
what I heard. Aero Farm, right? Yeah, they were under.
yeah, they were like, oh, we're gonna be the next big thing. But then they tanked. They're still open, I think, but they tanked because they weren't getting a profit nearly as quickly as they thought because they were pumping in hundreds of millions of dollars to build these facilities. They were growing stuff, but then they were still costly to run and all that good stuff. And they weren't growing something that you could charge an arm and a leg for. They're just growing
Yeah,
leafy greens.
lettuce.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not you're not going to pay like $20 for a little head of lettuce. Like it's
No,
yeah.
no, that would be ridiculous. I actually, when those guys become popular, I was thinking about that. Okay, I'm going to move to the States in a couple of years. Maybe I should try to reach those guys, see if I can do something with them because they were getting into cities, and then I knew I was coming
Mm.
to a city. But then, yeah, they went under because of that. One of my last job in Chile, we were producing, sorry, blueberries in a high tech greenhouses,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, the obviously it's not the same thing, but the way their water and electricity and gas and all those stuff, sorry, combined, it was really expensive. So what these guys were looking, and it's probably something these guys need to think about that. It's like they were looking for the window of opportunity. So if you
Mm,
harvest, you make everything right, and you harvest in this week of the year, you're going to get, I don't know, $20 a kilo or something like that. Okay, now we're profiting. But that's the part. Maybe these guys is like, which crop we need to pick to make a profit because it's more expensive or whatever. But I still feel like the concept is pretty good because I don't know if you ever heard about this guy Agrotomy or something like that. These guys build towers,
okay.
hydroponic towers, and you can buy it, put it in your house, and have your own stuff in square meters. So it's pretty cool. But it had potential, but this guy need to put more into thinking how to do it right.
Yeah, that's a good example. Like they weren't really thinking about the seasonality of it all. They were just thinking like, we can grow it year round, which I mean, it makes sense in a city because, you hear stuff about like the average salad takes 1,000 miles to get from the farm to the plate.
Yeah,
And it makes sense in like New York City, Chicago, LA, whatever. But yeah, you got to think about the seasonality of it. Like maybe this part of the year they're growing leafy greens. The other part of the year, maybe they're growing, I don't know, basil or sage or cilantro or something like that. Other quote unquote leafy greens that would be another that might be out of season elsewhere. So yeah, I think
yeah,
they should have rotated it seasonally or something like that.
yeah. That would be actually interesting to start go deep into what happened in reality with those guys, because I did hear that they got millions and millions of dollars in investment to like make it a successful industry, and then it's like poor investor because they lose all their money.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, it happens. And there were so many different companies. I mean, there were like 20, 30, 40 different big time companies were exploding, and they were all doing things just a little bit different, but nothing drastically different. So they're all just kind of having their own little shake in the market. I mean, honestly, I feel like that happens in every segment because now there's so many different EV electric vehicle companies coming up now. Like, you saw Rivian a couple years ago. Now
Yeah,
there's Slate, which they make like a little truck you can buy now. So I
that's
think it
the
happens in
Amazon
every
one, right?
industry. Do it?
That's the Amazon one, the little truck that you
Yeah,
mentioned.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. It's kind of like a Lego truck or something like
It is
that.
like it comes with roll up windows, and to get electric windows, that's an extra. Even like an FM radio is extra in that truck. Like it comes
Oh,
with
really?
nothing, but it's cool. Like the bare minimum is like $20,000, which is not bad. But then,
Not bad
I,
for a car, yeah.
yeah, I think I saw a video somewhere, and they were like to get a normal spec car with like a radio, CD player, roll up windows, then it goes up to like $40,000. So it's like, well, so
Whoa,
you're getting literally bare bones at
I know.
20 grand. I think you have to paddle it like the Flintstones did with your
Oh,
feet, and there's no
yeah,
engine with the 20 grand one. So,
probably. That's crazy. Yeah, I noticed that here. There's a lot of EV car. Yeah, because down in Chile you don't see. I think Tesla just got there, and one guy mentioned that they import one Rivian or something like that. The only problem when they do that down there is like, where are you going to get you the charger? There's not a charger
mm,
station, so you
yeah,
have to redo
exactly.
your house, get a bigger whatever in your house to be able to charge your car. Here, at least, the infrastructure is there to charge them,
Hmm.
but also take a long time. Like I had that conversation with a Rivian owner. It's like, okay, tell me like the same, asking questions or whatever. Tell me everything about the Rivian and the truck and how you do it. You do trips and you load it. And yeah, then he prefer another truck to do like long trips or loading stuff
Oh,
because
really?
the EV was not like what he was looking for. More
Hmm.
like the Sunday truck to go take the family out to dinner or something like that. That's it. All right, so we covered all my question: video games, tendencies, people who mark in your podcast. We talk about your story. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I'm running out of questions or not. But it's been awesome, dude. It's been awesome talking to you, learning about this. I want to ask you a little bit more question about the podcast and the tips that you can give me to like be consistent, like where to put my focus on to make it this successful and something like that.
Yeah. I would say two things. One, be as consistent as possible. If you're doing one episode a week, make sure you stick to that. If you're doing 2 episodes a week, make sure you're sticking to that. I would say that would be the biggest one. No matter like how many downloads you're getting, just keep posting and posting and posting. And then I would say try to experiment and see where your audience naturally is. Like, are they mostly on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Threads? Are they on YouTube? Are they on Reddit? Really
Oh,
experiment.
Reddit, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that they do a predominant like part of their marketing only on Reddit. So I would say for the first few months, experiment and just try to see where your audience might be. And then once you have like a really good percentage of them somewhere, stick to that. Maybe that's
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook, or even maybe you just do like an email chain or something, not an email chain, but like
Like
a
a
newsletter or
newsletter.
something. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So just try to see where your audience is and gravitate towards them. And
Perfect.
really, whatever you're interested in, like make sure your podcast stays on topic, like pretty much, but also like your audience is interested in you and what you want to learn. So, like, don't be afraid to go outside of those lines just a little bit, but not so much that you're kind of going away from the main theme, if that kind of
Yeah.
makes sense. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I did a few shows that I was interested in, but they didn't really make sense for my audience, and I still had a good time doing them. Like, I interviewed a fisherman because I like fishing from time to time, so I did that, but it didn't really match with my audience, so I probably shouldn't have done that. But yeah, just make sure you are delivering good content to your consumers, to your listeners, and you're just like they want to learn what you want to learn. So also don't be afraid
Yeah,
to like,
that's
hey, I
true.
don't know if my audience wants to learn about this, but I want to learn about it. So just go after it.
And do you, when you finish your episode, you're using the same software, you use all those magic clip and you post it online or no? Because
Yeah,
I see that you do more reels in Instagram, but I don't know if you're sharing shorts in YouTube, and that would be a good idea, or Instagram, create our own page and post all those little magic clips that the website, the software give me. Those will be good things to do too.
yeah, totally. I really like the magic clips here on Riverside. I'll have to edit them from time to time because sometimes they'll be good, sometimes they won't be. So I'll just have to edit them. It just really depends. But then I'll post them on Instagram. I'll see the most traction on Instagram and maybe Facebook. Um,
Okay.
I used to post clips over on YouTube, like just full YouTube videos, but those really didn't perform well. I don't know if that's because I was uploading inconsistently or just, the audience didn't like them. It just depends. Maybe it'll work for you, maybe it doesn't. Just again, try to find the audience and see where they are.
I did something yesterday. I put some shorts in YouTube, and while they were uploading, some of them right away got, I don't know, 100 views, and then 001, and they were all kind of from the same guest, similar topic. I didn't add any different. So that's the part when I get lost, because I don't know how the algorithm work and how it's going to like take it and show it, because even with TikTok right now, because those guys now they promote, so you have to pay them to
Yeah.
people to watch the video, which is stupid. Like, being totally
Mm-hmm.
honest, I feel like they destroyed their own app, because before you upload a video and it was something super random and it got 20,000 views, perfect. That's kind of what you want, like be organic. And now they say, okay, pay me $20, I'll show it to 1,000 people. It's like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it's like no way. And then they never tell you this. Once you start paying, it might work well, but then if you post and you don't pay, they're going to tank it to make you pay again. So that's one of the
Yeah,
downsides about
yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. I make that mistake with Instagram one time, kind of pay for one, and then say, actually, before people knew about this, I kind of analyze this situation, say, okay, wait a minute, I'm paying $20 for this, but then if I upload next the other videos, they're going to also like not show it to force me
Yeah.
to pay, and I got super disappointed for that stuff.
Yep. I did that on Facebook too, and I regret doing that. I paid for a few ads, saw some good traction, and then I stopped paying and saw no traction. So yeah, that's how they get you.
That's I know, I know. But well, okay, I do believe in the organic growth. So
Oh yeah,
try
yeah,
to,
yeah.
like you said, be consistent, and eventually somebody will like, when people little by little will start showing up or being part of the community you're building. So that's it. Um, I don't know if this is the. I feel like I ran out of my questions, so I don't know. In these scenarios, what do you do? How do you keep it up? Because I feel like I already got to know the things I wanted to know, like where are you from, your backgrounds, how do you start this show, when do you start all the social media that you're doing, YouTube. you say you were streaming the video game, but you're not doing it anymore.
Yeah, I just used to
And
stream them a little bit towards Christmas, like just a little bit. I might start doing it in a few more weeks or something, but that's just something I do very inconsistently. I should probably start doing that because it's kind
but if
of fun.
people go and like how that work? Like they go and watch you play. Is that how it is, or
Yeah,
they
yeah,
can
yeah.
ask you questions?
So kind of both. I did it on YouTube, and you could go on there and you could comment. Kind of same thing on Twitch too. You can go on there and watch and comment. So I just did it on YouTube, and people would come be like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing? Like what's this tool? What's this tractor?" So yeah, it was kind of like a good learning experience for all of us, which was kind of fun. But yeah, I had some good traction with it.
I would like that's something I want to like kind of do like live video on YouTube just to experiment and see how it is.
Yeah,
So people go and watch it and ask questions. That's pretty
it's big.
interesting.
Yeah, it's really big on YouTube. It's really big on Twitch. I think Twitch streaming is a lot bigger. But I just did YouTube because I just like putting everything on the YouTube channel. That way it's all there. But it really just depends on how you want to do it. But yeah, it was cool. You can comment on there, and people could comment and be like, "Hey, you're driving the tractor wrong" or something. So
That's not how you shift a manual tractor.
yeah, I was driving it, and I couldn't. The annoying part was you'd have to drive to the store every single time. And I was like, man, this is really annoying. I wish I didn't have to drive to the store. And then somebody commented, they're like, hey, if you just press P on your keyboard, you'll go directly to the store. I was like, wait, what? And I did it. And I went directly to the store. I was like, thank you. This is so
Nice.
great. And they're like, you're welcome.
You saved me an hour of driving.
Oh, yeah. Because I'd have to go there all the time. Yeah, it saved a lot of driving.
But I guess the audience in Twitch is more young people.
Yeah, I would say, honestly, I would say with streaming, it's more younger in general. Most people on there are streaming. So, yeah.
Which is kind of like from one point of view, it's like that's the people I want to get interested in agriculture and my subject and farming
Yeah.
and stuff, because something, and I've been talking to the about this with other people, like every year less young people are getting involved in agriculture because these
Yep.
all these other alternative, they are more attractive, like I don't know, even doing social media because it looked like it's easy.
Yeah.
And they're not interested in go do hard work in a farm. So if you can reach to them and show them, hey, this is actually cool to do, produce your own food. You can be outside and sometimes even manage your own schedule because you check your crops and then you're good to go and do whatever you want later. So maybe that's something I should try somehow, find a way.
Yeah, give it a try. Maybe your audience is there. Maybe they're on Twitch or YouTube. I mean, you never know. Honestly, at the beginning, just like kind of do a shotgun approach and just try everything and see what happens and see what sticks.
Are you anytime soon going back to teaching and kind of bringing people like not high
anytime
school,
soon.
but I don't know.
Not anytime soon right now. I would love to work in like higher education, so like be a professor. So maybe that would be something down the road. I think that would be really cool, but I might try to do that in my 40s. I've got a little bit of time, 5 years until that. So maybe eventually.
But that will be more focused in the IT department or the farming too.
Honestly, either. I would love to go back and like do higher ed, and do like agriculture education or something. That would be a good time, or even just IT. So we'll see.
So you're 35.
35, yeah. I will be
yeah.
in 3 months. So I'm getting there.
I'll say you're 34.
34, yeah.
Yeah, you're still pretty young. Well, not that I'm old. I'm not old either. So I'm 38.
38. Okay, yeah. We're both
It's
pre-40s.
I know, right? That's what actually I was talking to my friend yesterday, because when you get close to 40, you start like getting more, hey, I should be already be in life in these kind of things.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like, and he was talking about all this health problems. I said, yeah, dude, at least start moving your body more. That's it.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't worry about anything else. Just be healthy. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, perfect. I ran out of questions, man. Damn it.
Hey, that's a sign of a good interview.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to thank you for this opportunity to come and talk to me, being open and be available, because I know, like I said at the beginning, it's like, that's one of my things. Like, okay, I want to start reaching out to these people, but obviously I want to get rejections and say, oh, I don't want to, or I can't. But you right away say, yeah, I would love to participate. So thank you for that. And it's been great. I think it's been fun.
Well, thanks. Yeah, very excited to chat with you, Felix. And again, happy to be a resource for you for your podcast and help you, because the ag podcast industry is awesome, because I think we all kind of like like to support each other. So yeah, if I can ever help you with the show, let me know. And once you post this, I will be glad to share it and be like, hey, y'all go check out Felix's podcast. So it's always cool to be on the other side of the microphone too, which is really interesting. So, and I'll have to have you on my show one day. So we'll do that soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was thinking about that yesterday. You're going to be in the other side. Like, I'm going to be asking you the questions.
Yeah, it's fun to be on the other side. It's cool. It's cool. It's interesting, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome to like share your story, especially when you have like, I still admire that you have 250 episodes. So it's awesome, dude. It's
Thanks,
great.
yeah.
How to get there.
We've gotten there, 250. We'll see. I want to do something special for episode 250 because we just did 244. So we'll see. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but we'll see.
Do you have in mind like a specific guest or something?
No, I don't know. I might try to find someone here. I'm not sure, but something.
Get the Minister of Agriculture of the U.S. I don't know. Is that a thing? You don't call
the
it
Secretary
Minister here, right?
Secretary Rollins. That would be sweet. That'd be cool.
Or maybe local, because there must be somebody in Florida who is in charge of the agriculture, right?
Yeah, we've got our ag commissioner, Wilton Simpson. I've emailed him a couple of times. Haven't heard back, but you know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So I'm going to try to keep emailing him and maybe have him on.
There you go, yeah. Start DM the guy like constantly. Come on.
Get on the show, please.
You will be a great guest and everything.
Yeah, I'll have you on for episode 250. Come on, it's a special occasion. Please come on.
I'll pay you. No.
Yeah,
because they will say yes, right?
Yeah.
They'll charge, 50 cents. All right, Trevor, thank you so much. This has been a blast, and everything's been fun. And let's keep in touch. If I can be part of your show one day, because also like get all this knowledge and then share it with you will be really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for having me on, Felix, and best of luck with your show, man. I think this is going to be a cool show. So thanks for having me on. It was a pleasure.
Perfect. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the day.
You too. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
See you.